Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. 2020 has been a wild and exciting year. Started off with a bang, Chiefs convincing all the long and loyal fans to not start a shotgun. The entire United States finally praised the king again. John and Jamie played GTA 5 on the highest graphic settings. The entire country bought a new virus off Wish.com. Cowboys versus Indians got a new little bump while everyone was wearing bandanas for masks. Tina and David continued collecting grandkids like the Beanie Babies. I fell in love with the Asian. It's a bike. The whole country came together over some bonfires out there in Wisconsin. Jeff decided he had too much money, bought a house. TJ bought a subscription to Rogaine, but unfortunately spilled it on Billy's beard. And Connor and Andrea tried on their big bad wolf costume just a little too soon for Halloween. But the most important thing is it's football season again. And the Shirley family finally has a fantasy league. So here they are, the draft day power rankings. Be advised that I'm making all this up. Everything's made up. Stats don't matter. Shockingly enough, Andrea, I'm going to agree with some other power ranking sites. You have the strongest team at the moment. There's no doubt whoever drafted Mahomes in a PPR league would be ranked pretty high. In this league, Mahomes is a very dangerous QB. He's got a record-setting arm, the ability to vulture TDs from up to 15 yards out in the past, and just makes him a very, very good, high sought-out player. And he's going to average high points. He could bring in 40 to 60 points a week easily if he can keep healthy and the O-line can hold. That being said, watch for injuries. 4 weeks without him last year was a killer to so many fantasy seasons because he was relied on as a bell cow. If he takes another knee injury, who knows how long he's going to be in or out on that one. Your team is great at QB and RB. Had your team pulled up, but I don't now. You really need to look at wide receiver and tight end to maintain your number one position. You got a few things that I'd work out. Lost them off the page. By the way, this ranking was not affected by the Buffalo Chicken Dip bribe you brought, but if you want to stay on top, you need to drop some over at my house. Tina, another surprise at number 2. What you lack in trash-talking abilities and in the ability to remember passwords, your draft process was actually pretty solid sitting next to you. Didn't worry too much about the bench until you had a good starter for every position. That made you very well-rounded. You don't have much of a power spike. You're good. Not necessarily great in every position, but you're good without relying on just 1 or 2 bell cows to make your points. You should be looking for breakouts at wide receiver and QB. I'm not against your strengths at QB and wide receiver, but I definitely think that you need to pad yourself just a little bit. Picking up Deshaun Watson was a great move. He's recently gone above Lamar Jackson in the trade charts, so that's a very power pick. We're going to have to see how the Titans deal with that this Thursday. And Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's got a ton of upside. I like him as a pick. He's kind of a gamble, but I think he's got it this year. So I like seeing you pick up Devontae Parker. All those players have a lot of upside. If you keep an eye on everything during the midseason, you play the waiver wire and you do trades where you need to, we're going to see you in the playoffs. Number 3 is me. I couldn't be number 1 or 2. That would just be gauche and pretentious. I worked on running back and quarterback a lot. In this PPR league, with our scoring setup, your RB and your QB are going to be absolute freaking money. I'm going to try to stream defense and tight end most of this season. That can work for me or can work against me really badly. And if Lamar Jackson can repeat last year where he put up 600 points for PPR leagues, or Ezekiel Elliott can find the end zone for Dallas, it'll all be worth it. But I'm hinging on a few power players. So I'm going to have to watch for waiver wire pickups and trades all season just like everybody else. And really, we all should be. But right now, as long as those two are healthy, I think I've got a good shot at it. Connor, you scored great at the draft rankings, but upon further review, your team's a little scary for me. You got great power in your wide receiver slot. Tight end Chris Goodwin and Mike Gallup should carry your team pretty well. I'm even loving the Julian Edelman pick. It scares me, but I like it. I have a lot of faith Cam will use him the right way. I mean, Edelman's not going to have the same rapport he did with Tom Brady, but I think there's a good chance that him and Cam settle in together. If they don't, then Edelman's a very greasy pick. Eckler's a great one that I think is undervalued across the league. I'd like to see you try to do a little bit of work at QB and tight end. With that and a little bit of luck, you'll be in the playoffs. Number 5 is John. Now, John, I have high hopes for you. I hope your RBs find the end zone more than your boat finds the water. While you did get the award for slowest drafter, you did decent at making a very average team. You're number 5 of 10. You're just right in the middle. Your receivers and tight ends have a lot of work to do to get you in the runnings. But with tools like Raheem Mostert, Allen Robinson, of course, the cheetah himself, Kareem Hunt, you shouldn't have to worry too much. The one thing you have to do to get yourself in the running for the playoffs is running backs and quarterbacks. In this league, they are deadly. I'm looking for you to find that breakout or the backup for your injuries, and then I think you move up in the power rankings a lot. Number 6 is KC Crunch Billy. I have you a little low right now, and that's because you're a very volatile team. I do like seeing Lev Bell and Mark Ingram on your team, but Bell has burned quite a few fantasy owners in the past. If he can keep his feet on the field and keep his targets up, you'll be looking great to move up in the power rankings. I think you need to be looking out for great breakout quarterbacks, just like a couple others. Last August, Jackson was a bargain. In the past, it was Goff, then Big Ben. Way back, it was Andrew Luck. They've all been there, where they were dirt cheap at the beginning of the season and then spiked like going out of style. With a good QB and some finagling at your running back position, you're gonna catapult yourself right into the playoffs. TJ, big question for you, my man. Matt Stafford. What was the Matt Stafford pick? Because I know that Matt Stafford has done great in the past. He's done some amazing things, and I really don't think that he's too far out of the running for being a top-level quarterback. But he's always injured, and he doesn't have Megatron to go to anymore. It's a very big gamble, like medium risk, but high rewards. Nick Chubb, I like your pick at Nick Chubb. I definitely want to see you get a backup. I can't move off of Matt Stafford just yet. You got to have a strong backup if you're going to start Matt Stafford every week. It's ballsy. We'll see how it plays out, but it's not a play I would make. All right, I wouldn't pick him up off waivers. Nick Chubb is likely to have a bit of a wake up this year, and I like your pick of Amari Cooper. Overall, it's not one I would throw away and start again. But again, I gotta have backup at QB. Matt Stafford. Call me faithless, but I really don't think he goes the whole season healthy. And I'd like to see it, but I don't like his options. Jeff, I'm looking at all your positions here. And while most of the players in the middle of the road, they're not bad, but they're not great. I'm intrigued with Aaron Jones and Ridley, the Pats defense, Kyler Murray, huge potential. Got to say, it's a very risky, bold team. Your team's perfect for finding breakouts, okay? You got a few players that I think might surprise all of us. Their history is either not extensive or not great. But you could have some breakouts in there. You're also set up to pick up breakouts from waivers and trades. You got a lot of potential strength without having any players that you're scared to drop if things go wrong. Like, for instance, if Mahomes takes a small injury, Andrea is going to have a hard time pulling the trigger on a drop or a trade while he's listed as questionable or doubtful. But I don't see you having the same problem. Replacing Murray or Singletary, it's an easy call if one of them goes down because you know you're going to be able to trade to get them back if they come back healthy and do great things. All in all, I'd say you probably finish the season around 7-7, but if you keep diligent, 10-4 isn't out of the wheelhouse. Now we're down to Pigskins, Billy. I commend your RBs. I'm not even against your picks at wide receiver, and I think Zach Ertz or Noah Fant could do some things. You're rolling some big dice, though, especially with Hilaire and Big Ben. Hilaire is an unproven player. We're going to see how he does. I mean, he's got the best potential and the best team to recognize that potential, but it's still a pair of dice with him. And Big Ben, there's no doubt that he's been one of the greats. And honestly, he's probably one of the toughest people to ever play quarterback. That being said, he's not young. He's not bulletproof anymore. And Alvin Kamara, I think, is going to take a lot of the work off of Big Ben. We're going to see a lot of handoffs to Kamara. And we're not going to go to the air as much. So I think Big Ben, I think he suffers a little bit there. And it's going to be up to him vulturing some of the plays at the end zone. I just don't have any faith in Big Ben, man. I'm sorry. Prove me wrong. A couple weeks, the next power rankings, maybe I jump you up 4 slots because Big Ben freaking runs a 50-yard touchdown. I just don't think it's going to happen. And last but not least is Dave. I'm not going to rip you apart, Dave. It's your first year. You're probably going to shock us all by diving in, getting crazy with it, and probably going to make it to the playoffs. And you're gonna give me hell for ranking you at number 10. But I got to put you there. Your QBs are great. Your QB choice, I like it. You have some great consistent players. You got depth at your slot for quarterback as well. Breeze worries me, but if he doesn't pan out, Josh Allen, Jared Goff, more than likely to keep you from starving in the quarterback position. You're not going to have to trade off a tier 1 just to replace a quarterback. Your tight end is also a position I'm happy with. Kittle slotted in with a gamble on Gronk coming back. Makes me excited to watch your team go. I mean, I can't rank them high right now, but they do have a lot of upside. That being said, your running backs and wide receivers are places to watch out for. Any kind of improvement. Any. When Barkley's on the field and targeted, great things happen. But even after his injury last year, we saw him drop two receptions per game, at least 2%. So it's like he's a gamble, like a lot of these people I've been calling out on. Let's see. I lost my spot here. Barkley's on the field, targeted, great things. We saw him fall short of potential all of last year, to be honest with you. He definitely didn't hold up. I'm going to hold out on ranking you higher until we see what he does and whether or not Melvin Gordon gets the short end of the timeshare with Philip Lindsay. If they use him as a goal line workhorse, there's no doubt you're going to have a positive win record. But I don't know. I think Philip Lindsay they're either going to be on a straight-up committee or maybe Lindsay's going to take the tall end of it. If Melvin Gordon can get the tall end of that, then I think you've got a great shot at it. 12 minutes in, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thursday, kickoff. Make sure your lineups are set. And next Tuesday, I will do a review video of how the week went. Thank you, everybody, for playing. And if you didn't like it, sorry, my opinion.